I was reading this book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, however you say that. Anyway, in this book it speaks about the Toltec, which is a group of men and women of knowledge who, like scientists and artists, that formed a group collectively who came together in the ancient city of pyramids in Teotihuacan, Mexico. Which is also, from what I understand, and I could be wrong because I'm no expert, the same civilization from the Mayan times when they were using innovative spiritual technologies. I have some of these rings that someone crafted me that these people would use in their rituals in the pyramids. So I'm reading this book and it talks about how this guy was sleeping in a cave. I mean, it sounds more like he was eating fucking peyote, but however they want to word it, this guy was sleeping in a cave, right? Synonymous to the sleeping, dreaming Buddha beneath the Bodhi tree. And this guy wakes up and he has this grand epiphany, this awakening where he looks around and realizes that he can see himself in every single being, the earth, the trees, the rocks, everything around him has a life, his life force inside of it. And he goes on to explain how humans are merely just reflections and refractions of light. We're all mirrors, and everything in between is just smoke. It's fog, so most people are under this trance to where they can't actually see themselves reflected in everything. So they're blind, what I like to call blind. There's a fog covering. Now we could go deeper into that and I could say I know all the answers. I have explored many scenarios and options, including the deep dark truth of nothingness, void that makes you feel completely worthless and empty and hollow. And I would like to say that there are many possibilities to this theory that this man was describing when he had this epiphany. But I too have had this experience where I just suddenly have had an epiphany and it felt as if I wasn't induced by any drug. I was completely sober. I had been sober for months. And I was able to have this awakening where I watched this lady across from me in a hospital die. And as I watched her die, I pulled her life force into my body. And he put a sheet over her and rolled her out. And I just remember feeling like a 5-year-old kid and how sad it was to me. And I could hear her speaking inside of my head because I was inside of her. And so, reading this book, I feel like some of the books I've been drawn to lately especially are just merely that. Like reflections of light of my own thought process, because I'm indeed trapped in a mirror box in the grand scheme, because I say I'm going to put this person in a mirror box and then someone does it to me. That's because I control that person's actions and I don't realize it because I am that person, but that person is not me because that person cannot see me. You know what I mean? So that's not coming from a place of ego. That's coming from a place of, why can't more people see? Why is the fog so bad? I think about, the Holocaust and when all the Jews were gassed. What is the Jews? The juice inside of a cup, the filling, the magic, the good stuff, the sweet stuff, what you feed off of, your power source. If you don't have that, you're hollow. But the power source itself can leave you and feed off of anything and still survive, because it's just a reflection of light. It is a piece of knowledge that many know, and it has a sight where it can see beyond the fog, even though it's still being blinded by smoke and mirrors. So I say to myself, there's really truly no one else here, and I know I'm alone. Does that make me a virgin too? I've been putting my life force into everyone I've ever met and fucking them. It's great. In that case, I'm a virgin. If I'm using my extension to fuck myself, I am technically still a virgin. I rest my case.